Hello friends, so today we're going to discuss the problem B from the latest Codeforces round 677, problem name yet another bookshelf. So as you can see, you can read the problem statement, but in simple terms it states that you are given a bookshelf which consists of n books. So as you can see here, and the number or indexing of these books is given to you, so that the first book is of first index, second index, third index, and if there is a book there, then it is denoted by 1, and if there is no book there, then it is denoted by 0. So you can assume that this is a bookshelf, and if there is some book, you will denote by 1. There is no bookshelf, or that there is no book there, then denoted by 0. And there is a continuous stretch of books. Now your task is to bring all these books to a continuous stretch. What I mean by this is, as you can see, if this is the books, you can bring this to this part. So what you can do, you can select some continuous stretch of books and shift them. So you can shift them to any right side or left side by one position. So I'll tell you how. As you can assume that there is some continuous stretch of books, then there is some 0, 0, 0, then some again 1, 1, 1, then some 0, 0 and 1. So now you can shift all these books to first this point, so it will become like this: 1, 1, 1 and then 0, and then 0, 1 and so on. So what does this mean? That I will take all these books and shift by right position by 1. I can again shift them by 1. So now what you can do, you have to select one continuous stretch of books and then shift them. So now what the main task is, you have to form that, you have to do some operations such that all the books come into one continuous stretch. So now first I thought that okay, bring all the left books to the middle and all the right books to the middle, but that work will become very difficult to implement. But then the second thing I see here is, because the question get updated, it was not first updated, you first see how the question statement is explaining it. So it states that you first shift the segment 3, 3, which is like this third book, to this position, 3, 4, this position, and then shift this whole. So because when you shift this third book to this position, it comes to the fourth position. So now you take the fourth and fifth position both and shift to the next position. So now what we are doing is, we are taking these position books, bringing it to this position like this, then taking this whole and shifting out. This is the optimal way to bring all of them, because see, if I have some books and there is some books in the end, I can also bring them here. But what I am doing here is, if let's assume that I have some book here and here, if I have some only one book here and one book here, you can assume that this continuous stretch to be one book only. Like you can assume that this is only one book because they are acting as one. Also you can assume that if I have two books only in a container or in a bookshelf, I can either bring all the books to here or all the books to here. Now also you can assume that here also, let's assume that I have some books here, then I have nothing, then I have some book here, then I have nothing, then I have books some here, then I have nothing. So as you can see, if I have these books and these books, I can either bring these books to here or I can bring these books to here. It is both way fine. So what I need to do here is, I just need to find out the gap between these books. So if this is like assumed to be a single book, this is assumed to be a single book, I have to find out the number of zeros between the books. Also if there is the corner case of this is, let's assume that there is no book in the start, then there is some books, then there is no book, then there is book, and there is no book. You just have to find out the number of zeros between any two books present. As you can see, you don't have to count this because this is irrelevant. I don't have to go to this point. I just have to form the continuous stretch. So what it means by this is, I can only bring out the books which are continuous and bring all of them close. So if I just bring all these three books to this position like this, and this is here, I am also fine. I don't have to bring all these books to in the end also. So I have to find out that the main question now is, I have some books, then some zeros, then some books, then some zeros, then some book. I have to find out the number of zeros between any two consecutive books. Okay, some consecutive books. How many zeros are there? And that's the whole question. Now you can implement this question in a lot of ways, but I solved it using stacks. So I'll tell you how I solve using stacks. This comes to me intuitively because I have to find out the number of zeros, and this type of question only solve using stacks. Like it's very simple. So as you can see, if I have 0, I will see, if I have 1, I will push back in the stack. Okay, now if I have again 1, so let's assume that, okay, just remove this one. I have first equal to 1, so I will push back in the stack. Now I have zeros, so I will count the number of zeros somewhere else. Let's assume that there is some CC which is counting out the zeros, and there is a total. There is a total number of shifting I have to do. Now as you can see, first I found out some 0, I will increment this by 1. Then I again found out some 0, increment this by 1, which is 2. Now I found out by 1, which means that if I have some 1 already in the stack and I have found another 1, then it only means that I have to add these CC to this total. If there is no 1 here, as you can see, let's assume that there is only 0, 0, 0 and then 1, 0, 0, 1. Whenever I see a 0, I will keep on incrementing my CC. So when I see 0, it will 1, then 2, then 3. Then I see a 1. Then I see that, okay, there is 1, but there is no 1 in the stack. It means that I haven't seen 1 in before. So I cannot push it. And thus I will make this CC equal to 0 again. Whenever I see the 1, I will make it CC equal to 0. But now I will see again 0. So I will make my CC equal to 1. Then again 0, I will make my CC equal to 2. Then I again see 1. But now, because I have seen 1 earlier, I have pushed this in the stack. And now, whenever I have seen a 1 again, I have seen that, okay, now there is one available in the stack. Then I can check that, okay, I will push this 1 again in the stack. And now count out this total in this total, CC in this total. You can also do this with a variable or like a count variable also, like this implementation stack, but I found out this stack is very simple. I hope you understand the implementation, how we are doing this. We just move from left to right. Whenever I see a 1, I will push back in the stack. And whenever I see a 0, I will count them. But whenever I see a 1 again, I will check that whether there is 1 available in the stack, which means that I have 1 opening and 1 closing one. Then only I will add the CC to total. If there is no 1 present in the stack, I will not add my CC to total. And that's the logic. I'll return to the code part now. As you can see, the code is also very similar. It is n, stack, total and sum. Okay, total is the total number of zeros I have to output in the end, and CC is denoted by sum. Move from left to right. This is the input of x. If I have 1, I have told you, I will push back. If I have 1, I will just push back in this, as you can see, and total plus equal to sum, and then sum becomes 0. But if I'll check that if it is a 0, then see, you can also do this implementation, but what I have actually done here is, if I have seen a 0, I will only count this in CC when there is some 1 already in the stack, which means that if there is no 1, what does this mean by I am adding this count to CC? If there is no 1 in the stack, then why I am adding this to the CC? Whenever I see 1, I will push back in the stack, and then I will count out my I will count out my zeros. You can also do this by finding out the first one. Find out the first one and then count out the number of zeros, and then whenever you find out another one, take this to the total. And that's the logic for this problem. Whenever I see a 0, I will check that if my s.empty, if there is no element in the like the stack, then I will not do anything. If it has some element, then only I will add this to sum. And if I keep on adding to the sum, I will only add this sum to total whenever I see a 1. And then after adding, I will make my sum equal to 0 because there is 1, so I will keep on doing this. I hope you understand the logic as well as the code for this problem. You can implement in both of these ways. So I'll see you in the next one. Keep coding. Bye.